find those shoes, they're 40% off. You're like, oh my God, 1 in a million. Well, I'm 1 in a million. In 2012, I had everything in the palm of my hand. Great job, friends, family, traveling all over the world, sexy, smart boyfriend. Hey. Overnight, my life changed. I had a lump in my leg that went misdiagnosed for 6 months. I went to have it operated on here, locally, and the surgeon came in and said, we found a mass. A mass? What are you talking about, mass? We stood around the table at the hospital. I was in the bed, this huge, long scar on my leg, and I said, what do we do? Oncologist, hematologist, oncologist, tumor specialist, social worker, my mother crying in the corner with the rosary, everything. One name came back, Dr. John Healy, Memorial Sloan Kettering. I wasn't expected to live. I wasn't expected to keep my leg. In September, it will be 5 years, no evidence of disease.
The reason I got on a plane and flew out here is because I work in a lab as well as take care of patients, and we do research on a disease called neuroblastoma, which is a disease of early childhood. 2-year-old kids, on average, get it. We cure less than half of those kids today. And the research that I'm doing in the lab to try to understand how that disease first starts and how it happens in the first place, and therefore how can we treat it better, is funded by Cycle for Survival.
I was diagnosed with a really rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma about 1.5 years ago. It is normally found in children in Africa. I was one of the lucky 2% of cases that was a random genetic mutation. So the first thing I wanted to say to you is everything you already know. Everything you're doing here today is incredibly important and really, truly makes a huge difference. The treatment plan that my doctor and I decided on was a clinical trial. It was presented at a conference 3 days before I was diagnosed. The alternative existing treatment plan was only 60% effective, so we took a chance on this clinical trial, and it saved my life. So, yeah. So, every minute that you spend here tonight and every dollar that you've raised is going towards something that's going to continue to save lives like mine for the rest of forever.
I do ride for a friend, a late friend. They gave her about 1 year to live. And her approach to that and her response to that was, that's just wrong. That's absolutely not going to happen. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to make a difference. If I think to myself, I'm motivated someday, go around and see my Cycle for Survival swag, and I'm like, Jen did it with so much class and so much energy. The least I can do is motivate today, and that's why I ride.
Less than 1 year ago, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I found out I had a 9-centimeter tumor on my left lung, and it was a very scary moment to be sitting in the oncologist's office and to hear that news. But he followed it up with words of encouragement. He told me that the treatment options were excellent and that I had a very good chance of beating it, which I now have. And I remember sitting in that chair and thinking about all of the other patients who have sat in that chair before me and their families and heard a very different prognosis from their oncologist. And that is who we are here today riding for.